What if Gavi leaves for free? If he was to leave Barcelona, that could happen, couldn't it, JJ? That could definitely, it could really happen.
Well, the setup for this is that because of legal and financial reasons, Barcelona they can't give Gavi the contract that they offered him when he signed. I think it was September or something like that.
Ripped it up.
He's got to go back to being a youth player, and he can't have his number 6 anymore.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
What number is he again?
I don't know actually. I've not
actually a stipulation.
I think
89.
So. Is that to make
it was an article in the Athletic, so I'm hoping it's true.
Is that to make them think that he isn't like a starting 11 player? They'll be like, well, he's number 56, so
it's to do with that registration. It's to do with that, so they can't register him as a first team player. Therefore, he can't have that number because it's already registered. But I don't understand. I don't understand this bit, right? So I don't know enough about
quote you on it, but you have said it now
on a podcast watched by many people. Yeah. So
I think we got away with it.
Yeah.
Carry on, move on quickly.
Gavi is absolutely brilliant, and so the idea is that because of this contract he's on, he could leave for free at the end of the season.
Yes.
But he's not going to do that because he loves Barcelona. Like he was doing slide tackles with his head the other day. Like the guy's committed. He loves that club. Barcelona obviously are in trouble. They've got to cut about 200 million euros out of their salary, which is absolutely insane. Again,
if only they'd have seen this coming.
Yeah, I mean, so they were banking on Champions League football, and when that went wrong, they worked out they could fill another shortfall by reaching the Europa League final, and obviously got punted out by Man United, so that's bad. They're likely to win La Liga, but that's not a huge financial difference what they get. It's the Champions League football.
Major trophy.
So they've got lots of players on big money, and they will need to cut a few out. They don't have any big levers left to pull. They've already kind of done that, so they need to find a way to cut money from player sales. Players like Frankie de Jong will be likely. I mean, like players like Gerard Piqué retired halfway through. Busquets might take a really cheap contract and stay on if he stays. They'll have a bit of a turnover. This summer will be very interesting at Barcelona because like they want to build around Pedri and Gavi, two of the best players probably in the world. Not just young players, like they're absolutely incredible. Like Gavi just runs games on his own. He's like 18, 17, something.
It's funny, isn't it?
Insane.
That all of these levers were pulled and then the two of the most important players just came through the academy.
And Balde as well. And like left wing back is coming through. They've got a good team coming through, but I mean, they've relied on players like Frankie de Jong, and that would be where they could easily make a bit of money at Man United. So if you sell Frankie for like 80, 90 million euros, and then you get his very high wages off the bill, like suddenly you're already looking much better and you're in a position where you can start buying players again.
So the crux of this is that Gavi is now on a contract where he will legally be offered on a free.
He could go anywhere else, yeah. But where would he go? Like,
where would you put him, John?
Well,
yeah.
I mean, he could go anywhere.
I know
right?
he could, but you've got the choice.
Where would
You're his agent. You've been on the phone.
I mean,
where would you?
So I have to do it completely on. I mean, because I'd send him to Leeds, obviously. But I don't think that. I would like to point out this.
Are you
point.
about to say you don't think it's going to happen? Fantastic. Yeah. Well, on this whole what if imagination section, that seems fair enough. Apparently, his shirt will change from the 6 he currently wears. This is Gavi, to his old number, which was 30.
Oh. That's good.
Presumably it was his old number before he signed his contract.
What's the number that Messi wore, I think, when he came through at Barcelona? So it's obviously a bit of things for that. That's why he wears it at PSG.
Gavi and Pedri. I mean, you've said it now. It becomes true. No one's going to check.
Well, that is the thing. I can say anything, and maybe people.
Yeah, as I said, people don't fact check anything.
That is how the world actually works now. It doesn't even matter if it's true or not. You just need enough people to believe what you're saying.
Just tweet about it. Put the tweet out, and then you can say, "I saw it on Twitter." It's your tweet, but you're referring to it. And
what numbers did he have? Does it tell you?
That's how a lot of religions probably started.
I don't think Twitter is around.
He was. I was right.
No, maybe not that bit.
I was right. His first number was 30 when he broke through the first team, and then it was 19. So I knew he had a different number before 10.
It doesn't even matter if you're right, though, JJ. Now you've told everyone you were right. That's the important bit.
Gavi and Pedri, people talk about them in the same breath. Is it because they both have names that end in I? Is that it?
Well, they're both very young, and they're not the same player. They're quite different, but they do things. I don't know. Yeah,
I feel like people.
Pedri, Gavi.
I don't know. I really like Pedri and I really like Gavi, but I feel like Pedri is a lot better than Gavi is. But I feel as though Gavi maybe gets a little bit more.
I think they do different things, though. That's the thing. So I think Pedri is one of the best midfielders just that there is.
Yeah,
he's basically Modric, but really young and just reads the game slightly differently. Like you compare the two, Gavi would be more of the Iniesta because he plays further forward and can be a winger and a striker. Like a forward, not a striker, but Pedri's more of the
Yeah.
Pedro's more of a 6 or an 8.
You want to sit
and he's
deep because he's creative in that way. Gavi is like super good out of possession as well, which I think means people probably do undervalue him slightly as well. But I do feel as though, like, because they're both young Spanish players whose name ends in I, people sort of just lump them together.
You're saying people might be lazy?
I'm saying people might be lazy, yes.
Oh my goodness. All right, well, so try really hard then, guys. If we've got Gavi, he's he's free agent, he's there. Where would be great for him to go to spread his wings, to free himself of the shackles of being lazily compared to Pedri? Where could he go?
Well, anywhere. I watch most Premier League football, so I want him to go to a team there, and he could play for anyone, absolutely any team. Well, the obvious one comparison would be like Man City, but like that's where he'd go and then be more limited to what he can do. But
does he remind you of Bernardo Silva?
I mean, Pedri's quite similar to Bernardo Silva as well, in the way that he can probably play anywhere. Drop deep, keep the ball. You can have 4 players trying to tackle him at once from different angles and he can get out of it. Yeah. Gavi would just be great in any team. Liverpool, Man City,
next to Bruno.
Yeah, but Gavi should play for the absolute best teams who are competing for the Champions League. He can play for Newcastle in 3 or 4 years when they might be there.
Tottenham. Why are you laughing, John?
Maybe in 3 or 4 years when they get there.
Maybe. Yeah. Yes. Anywhere else you'd like to send him?
Well, I don't know. We another name that has been on people's radar of moving from their club, who I think is actually quite a similar sort of player, is Mason Mount. Right? He's a player who's quite flexible. He's good out of possession. He's a player who's been brought through his youth team at the club that he's at. So maybe if people are talking about Mason Mount moving.
There's lots of rumbles about that, aren't there?
Whether or not that means that Chelsea would be happy to bring in Gavi, I don't know. But I'm with JJ. I think he could play. He could play anywhere. And I've mentioned out of possession stuff quite a lot because I think players who are good out of possession are often undervalued. And I think people look at players and they think if he runs around a bit, then they're good at out of possession stuff. Whereas I think one of the reasons why Gavi has played in the way that he's played by Xavi is that you can play him in that front three, get him dropping inside, helping out in the midfield, but you can also use him as one of your front line in the press as well. And that's really, really important as well. And as time goes by, elite sides need players who are going to be good at the out of possession side of things as well as the in possession side of things as well. So any team which is thinking smartly about out of possession pressing, how to control teams, would really love a player like Gavi, because I think he's going to be able to, he's the sort of player that you can get in your front line of press and you can let them do the pressing and they will control that the first line of pressure. And I think, super important.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is home to some of the world's best sports journalists, including journalists dedicated to each Premier League team, so every fan gets the coverage they deserve, not just the big clubs. And you can try it for free now for 30 days. See the link in the description.